Hey, so today we're on the Zoom. To Australia in Victoria to Racecourse Bookmaker, NATALIE HINKLEY. Thanks very much for agreeing to talk to us today, NATALIE. Right, I've been doing some research on you, and the first thing I'm really intrigued about is what is a bowler account?
A bowler account. Well, I'm not sure what the rules are over there, but down here we've got minimum bet laws. So corporate bookmakers have only got to bet you to win a certain amount. And if you're a winner, you get barred quite easily. So you can only get on to win the certain amount. So if you wanted to get on to win more, you've got to find a bowler account. So a bowler account is, a friend or a family. You open up another account under their name and try and get on for a little bit more.
Yeah, I think we got similar stuff. I think people over here would love to have a minimum bet rule, but we'll talk about that a bit later on. But basically, you're a racecourse bookmaker. Uh,
Yep.
how long have you been doing that?
Um, good question. I think I've had my bookmaker's license now for about 7 years, but I got into it as soon as I finished high school and I turned 18 when I was able to work on course. And that's when I first got into it. So yeah, worked for a few other bookmakers to, learn the craft and learn how to operate. Obviously, you need a lot of experience and knowledge before you can stand on your own 2 feet.
So, was there a family background in it?
Got no family background in bookmaking whatsoever or in racing at all.
That's pretty unusual. So how did you, what sort of made you decide to be a racecourse bookmaker?
Quite sure. My earliest memory was me being in year 7, so I was probably 12 years old, 13 years old. I went to an all-girls school, and I don't know where the fascination came from, but I started to try and run a book in year 7, and I got caught by the year 7 coordinator. She rang my mum and told her I had a gambling problem, and I think because I got told off for doing that, it made me even want to do it even more. So I finished high school and got a job at the races when I could, which was when I was 18, and away we went.
So where you going racing, previous to that, is that what, did you see the bookmakers at work? Is that what sort of sparked you into it?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't have any memory of it. I just don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe mum or dad took me to the races one day and I saw how interesting it was, and the environment looks so fun. Maybe, I'm not sure. I can't even remember. But yeah, I've always wanted to be a bookmaker. And I achieved that. So I'm pretty happy with myself, to be honest.
Yeah. So how difficult is it to become one? I mean, do you have to, what does it entail?
Well, you've got to have a little bit of financial backing and a bit of experience, and then you can apply, because we do it state by state here. So you can apply to the state to get a license. And if they give it to you, you've got to sit down at a board meeting and plead your case. And once you've done that, if they approve you, then you can be a bookmaker, start going to the races.
How do you get pitches? Do you have to, because over here you have to buy pitches. Before that, somebody had to die and you had to move up a waiting list. So now it's improved a bit. But how do you go about getting yours?
So what happens here, they let a certain amount of bookmakers into each race meeting. So when you start, it's quite hard to get into a few. But once you do, you wait for, a few bookmakers that are sick on the day or, pull out last minute. Then you get in, and once you start doing a few meetings, you get to do a few more.
Okay, so how many pitches do you work now?
Quite a few. I do Northern Victoria and Western Victoria.
Okay, so how many? Yeah, sorry, carry on.
I couldn't tell you how many there actually was that I do. There's a few. Wodonga. Anyway, I do all the ones in the North and West Victoria.
No, I saw you did one in the North. It's a 6-hour drive to get there. So it's you do a fair bit of traveling through the year.
Yeah, that was good fun too. A good part of the job is actually, those longer kind of trips, because you get to stay overnight and go to the pub and have a few beers and meet a few, locals in regional Victoria and have a good time.
So how many days on average would you go racing a week?
A couple of years ago, I was probably doing 6 days a week. I've kind of cut back now. The traveling got a little bit too much. So probably about 4 meetings a week.
Right. So you how many of the bookmakers do you think that go to the course would do it for an actual living as their sole income?
There's not many. You've always kind of got to have a backup, I think, because I've got a backup as well, being a bookmaker, because, you know, it can all just go south quite quickly as well if you start losing. You know, there's no guarantee that you're going to make money over 12 months. So it's always good to have another job or, you know, another income or some means that are coming in to support that too. And I find that's a good mental thing as well, because, you know, you can do everything right for a week and you can do your ass. That's what we call it, and become cast. We've got a lot of bookmaker slang there as well. Yeah, so you do a lot of money, but if you've got other money that's coming in, it's a lot easier mentally to cope with that.
Okay, and how many bookmakers would you get out of track? I mean, how competitive is it between you? I know it's how long's a piece of string, but you know,
Yeah, these days not so many. So the kind of in the country, there's, you know, there could be 2 to 6 to 8 bookmakers. City-wise, could be 14 to 20.
okay, and is it a competitive environment between you all, or do you sort of say, you know, we'll behave ourselves here and just take it nicely as it comes in?
Oh, it's dog eat dog with Betfair. As soon as Betfair was introduced, it's yeah, a dog eat dog world, because a lot of bookmakers in Victoria want to kind of stick it up each other, so they back things with each other if the price has gone on Betfair. So yeah, but the good part about it is, at the end of the day, after the last race, you know, we're all still friends, even though we're trying to, you know, stick it up everyone during the day. Yeah, we can all go to the pub and have a drink afterwards and everything's fine.
Okay, so you mentioned Betfair there. That's been used on course in the UK probably for 20 years now, and most people would say to the detriment of the on course betting industry. Would you sort of say it's going that way? But how long has it been used over there?
When I first got to the races, it wasn't used at all. I'm not sure. So I was 18, maybe came in when I was about 22. So probably 11 years ago. Yeah, a lot of bookmakers hate it, but I don't mind. I think it gives you a good avenue to get to bet back, as we call it as well. So if you're holding too much money on something, you can always use Betfair to refinance.
Yeah, I was going to say because that was one of the main things. I mean, in the UK, the people could come and bet on the back row because there'd always be hedging money from other bookmakers to take, and all that sort of dried up. And from having like 30 bookmakers, you probably got about 7, even at, you know, some of the bigger meetings. Have you noticed that the numbers have dwindled?
They have, but that could be due to a number of factors as well. There's a lot less people that actually go to the races these days. There's a lot less cash, as the cash society's kind of dried up a little bit. And you've got the corporate bookmakers. So everyone's kind of got a mobile account with, you know, 2, 3, or 4 corporates.
Yeah. So that's interesting. You say that less people are actually going racing, not less people betting with the bookmakers.
Yeah, the crowds have dried up. I'm maybe that's to do with the TV rights as well. You know, you can sit on the couch and watch everything from home now as well. So the with the TV and stuff like that, that's all probably really improved in the last 10 years as well. So
Have you got dedicated sort of racing channels on the Sky sort of network? Is that how it works?
We've got racing.com down here. So they show every race meeting in Victoria.
Okay, you mentioned. Sorry, yeah, you mentioned that the bit of the cash is sort of dried up. Do you take like debit cards and cashless sort of forms of money, or do you just solely take cash from the punters?
We used to a little bit. We had a little tap and go thing, but we had a royal commission down here into our banking system, and that kind of all dried up. So it's very, very difficult to get that kind of like the tap and go system with any bank down here. So I think the Victorian Bookmakers Association down here are working on trying to get around that problem at the moment.
Okay, so would you you know, for example, you've got a race where you've got a really short price favourite and you don't particularly fancy it. Would you would you sort of resort to the betting exchanges to get it in your book and lay it on there?
Yep, 100%. And, you know, that's a good thing about Betfair as well. If you do want to lay something, you can.
Okay, now on course, if you know you say that you've had to sort of get in at the tail end, can you sort of move up? Can you buy a pitch? Can you sort of say, I've got a few quid, I want to buy Tom Waterhouse's dad's pitch? Is that possible, or have you just got to wait to?
Yeah, you can buy different pitches. I don't think they're probably worth the money is what they were probably 20 years ago. But yeah, if someone wants to sell their spot, yeah, you can definitely buy it and start fielding there.
And how many lady bookmakers are there? Are you sort of a minority, or would there be quite a few other ladies running bookmaking pitches?
A very male-dominated industry. There's a few like wives and partners that are in partnerships with their husbands. For me, I think I probably am the only one that kind of does it on my own, that hasn't got well, a family that isn't involved in it.
So how did they react when this this young girl sort of turned up and pitched up for the first time? Were you sort of, did they thinking, oh, here we go, nice, this is going to be easy pickings, or were they quite protective over you?
No, it's dog eat dog. So yeah, they you know, it's just another young bookmaker that came to the track, and yeah, they tried to stick it up me and push me around a little bit, but I enjoyed that. I find it a challenge too, because yeah, pushing the boys around, I get a lot of enjoyment as well. So
So did you have you got sort of staff that were more experienced when you first started to sort of to sort of help out there, or were you all quite green?
quite green, yeah, to start with. Yeah, I've got a few really good employees that work for me now, and they know how I operate, and they're great. Yeah.